falling for it.
Coming up on WAC Football Friday, the X Factor, Xavier Gibson helped Stephen F. Austin win big. A future WAC member wins a barn burner in Arlington. Lamar goes to overtime in their first ever trip to Colorado. We'll talk with Cardinals head coach Blane Morgan as Lamar gets ready to host conference rival Abilene Christian.
We're back at home. We're sitting here with a winning record.
That's all ahead on WAC Football Friday. Welcome to WAC Football Friday. I'm Eric Danner. Week 3 of WAC football action featured some spectacular plays, starting with the X-Man at Stephen F. Austin. The Lumberjacks hosting Mississippi Valley State, and it was a big game for SFA wide receiver Xavier Gibson. First quarter, Trey Self goes up top to Gibson for 48 yards. SFA's first possession winds up in the end zone. They lead 7-0. Second quarter, Self to Gibson again. This is a 78-yard scoring play. Gibson only had 3 catches on the day, but 2 of them go for touchdowns. Gibson is named Ticket Smarter Offensive Player of the Week. Then it's our WAC top play of the week. Gibson on the punt return, reversing field, finds a convoy of blockers, goes 70 yards for his 3rd touchdown of the half. Stephen F. Austin leads 38-13 at the break. They roll to a 58-13 victory. In Abilene Christian hosting Texas Permian Basin. Second quarter, defensive end Jordan Pop gets the interception and rumbles into the end zone. Wildcats lead 24-3. They go on to win 34-9. Pop is named WAC Ticket Smarter Defensive Player of the Week. On to Greeley, Colorado, where Lamar made their first ever trip to the Centennial State, taking on Northern Colorado. No score in the second quarter when Cardinals running back Marcellus Johnson goes 67 yards to the house, as the kids say. This was a very low-scoring contest, under 10 seconds to go. Bailey Giffen connecting on the 26-yard field goal. Giffen is named Ticket Smarter Special Teams Player of the Week. We go to overtime, where Chaz Ward goes 10 yards for the touchdown. Last chance for UNC. Lamar's Jamin Johnson gets the sack. Lamar wins 17-10. Our featured game of the week was future WAC member Southern Utah, making the trip to Arlington to take on Tarleton. This was truly the game of the week. Texans defensive back Devin Hafford gets the pick 6 in the second quarter. Hafford had 2 interceptions on the day. We were tied at 28 at the half. Fourth quarter, Daniel Wright scampers down the sideline to give Tarleton a 35-34 lead, but the Thunderbirds come down and score with under 2 minutes to go. Southern Utah winning a barn burner 40-35. Final game of the week, Dixie State in Northern California taking on 12th ranked UC Davis. Second quarter, Taylor Alvarez scoring on the short touchdown pass. Trailblazers down 15-13, but the Aggies control it after that, winning 60-27. Dixie State will be on a bye this week. Our featured game of the week is Abilene Christian traveling to Lamar. This will be the 21st ever meeting between the two schools, and the Cardinals have won the last 6 previous matchups. In fact, the Wildcats haven't beaten Lamar since 1970. ACU quarterback Stone Earl leads the WAC with 8 touchdown passes on the season. Wildcats wide receiver Kobe Clark is tops in the WAC in touchdown catches with 4. Lamar rushed for more than 200 yards in their win over Ed McCaffrey and the Northern Colorado Bears. The Cardinals also held UNC to just 236 yards of offense. Lamar and Abilene Christian play Saturday on ESPN+. The 2 teams will play twice this season, so this matchup does not count as a conference game. Stephen F. Austin hosts Lincoln University from Oakland, California, and Tarleton is back in Stephenville. The Texans host New Mexico Highlands. All those games start at 6 Central on ESPN+. After a bye week, number 1 ranked Sam Houston will be back in action this week. The Bearcats traveling to Central Arkansas. This will be the first AQ7 matchup. The WAC and Atlantic Sun conferences have formed a scheduling alliance that allows the 7 eligible schools from each conference to be eligible for an automatic qualification to the NCAA FCS playoffs. The Bearcats and Bears play at 4 p.m. Central on ESPN+. Coming up next on WAC Football Friday, we talk with the one football coach in the conference who knows what it's like to win a WAC championship. We talk with the Lamar head football coach Blane Morgan after the break.
In the WAC, we value sportsmanship on the field and in the stands.
We take pride in playing fair and being honest.
We honor the game by showing respect for our opponents,
The officials,
the fans, and our team,
great sportsmanship is about taking ownership after a loss.
and being humble after a win.
We want you to team up with us by staying positive on the sideline.
Because great sportsmanship is what unites us.
we are the Western Athletic Conference.
Welcome back to WAC Football Friday. I'm Eric Danner, now joined by Blane Morgan, the head football coach at Lamar University. Coach Morgan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, started the season 2-1 this past week. You were up in Greeley playing Northern Colorado, a team coached by former Denver Bronco Ed McCaffrey, and you guys win 17-10. Give me an assessment of that win this past weekend.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty significant step and just kind of the foundation that we're trying to build here in our program. And when you win a game, it's closely contested and you find a way to pull it out in the end. It certainly just talks about the character of your team and certainly just our assistants and our staff just doing a phenomenal job, especially when you look at just there's no other team in the country starting 5 true freshman offensive linemen. At times we had 3 true freshman defensive linemen in the game and a couple others. And so just that, I think that's a testament to our kids. And we've got some older kids that are really buying into, and starting to play well and starting to lead the team.
Coach, I know after the game you were very complimentary of your defense, giving up just 10 points and you went into overtime. So they really did a great job and were the cornerstone of that victory.
Yeah, I think they're playing extremely hard, and that's kind of what we've stood on the table. Just our effort is going to define us on offense and defense and special teams. And right now our defenses, I think they're playing with extraordinary effort. They're not perfect, and we'd like to get the ball, get the ball back a few more times as far as our turnover margin. But they did a phenomenal job. Whenever you hold the team to 80 yards rushing, that's trying to establish the run. I think it was 86 yards. Then certainly you've got to take your hat off. And it was an old school game. It was a physical football game, a field position game, and Coach Matt Weichert's doing a great job of prepping our defense, and he did last week, and he continues to do that. Put those guys in great situations to make plays.
Coach Morgan, Lamar, located in Beaumont, Texas. This was the first ever trip, football-wise anyway, for the Cardinals to Colorado. What was the idea behind having an out-of-state trip as part of your non-conference schedule?
That is beyond my pay grade. That's made at the administrative level and probably a few years before I came here. And so I like it. I can tell you why I like it. And that's a lot of quite a few of our guys have never been on a plane, leading probably upwards 15 to 20 kids have never been on an airplane. And then a larger number had never been to Colorado. And so just to have that exposure, the night before the game, we were able to go, and eat a nice meal and just have that road trip experience and the experience of a team being together on the road with really no other distractions. And so I think that certainly pushes us as far as team bonding and unity.
Old school WAC fans might remember you from Colorado when you're at the Air Force Academy, 1998 co-offensive player of the year. Did you have a chance to visit any of your old teammates? Or I know you spent a lot of time as a coach also at Air Force.
I didn't do a good enough job of soliciting those guys. There are quite a few of them that still live in Colorado Springs. So I just didn't do a good enough job of getting the word out that we were coming to town. You stay fairly busy in your weekly game planning, and you're kind of secluded and isolated a little bit, and you just hope to see your family a few times, during a game week, and which we try to do here. So, but certainly heard from them after the game when news got out. They were pretty excited.
Now, your kicker, Bailey Giffen, was named WAC Special Teams Player of the Week by TicketSmarter. Kicked a 26-yard field goal to send the game into overtime, and also doubles as your punter coach, we don't really see that as much. I maybe date myself, go back to the Don Cockcroft era of NFL football when he was the last kicker punter in the NFL. Bailey doing both and seemed to do a very good job doing both.
He did. He punted the ball a lot better and took a significant step this week. And really the punting part, he's been an all-conference caliber kicker for a while and continues to do that very well. And then, but he hadn't done both over a multiple game period. And so I thought he took a significant step flipping the field and doing a nice job punting the football on Saturday.
The other thing that was impressive, Coach, was your ground attack. I know going back to your Air Force roots where you did a lot of running the ball back then. Is that part of your philosophy as a coach, that you want to have that ground attack maybe first, and then that opens up the passing game?
We do. We're gonna try to be balanced, but we're gonna certainly try to establish the run and really just try to take what a defense gives us. And so if they're going to load up the box and be aggressive, then we're certainly not against throwing the football. That's for sure. It seemed like we started 4 or 5 drives inside our own 10, which in a field position, a game that's closely contested and a turnover is going to sway it one way or another. That keeps you more on the conservative side as far as play calling goes. And so I would like to get to where we yardage wise, we're sitting there at, pretty balanced and hard to defend.
This week, Abilene Christian comes to Provost Humphrey Stadium at Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas. Coach, what's it going to take for another Cardinals victory in this matchup?
I think we just need to take that next step with our kids, and that is on offense, just executing at a little bit higher level, not making just really hurting ourselves, either turning the ball over with a fumble or a penalty, or it just seems like there was something on a lot of those drives where we were really hurt ourselves, and then on just taking care of the ball, and then on defense just taking the ball away a couple times. But you'd love to see that, and that is the next step for us in our program, is just trying to play a little cleaner game and just seeing that effort level go through the roof. We're back at home. We're sitting here with a winning record, and we've got a conference of foe coming to town. So I'm hoping the fans of Beaumont will rally to Provost Humphrey.
Have you had a chance to scout the Wildcats? What have you seen? I know they're coming off a victory over UT Permian Basin this past week.
Absolutely, yeah. But obviously, the thing you have in the WAC is you've got 3 coaches that I think now have won a national championship at one level or another, and so you've got some very good coaches in this league. And so you look at them from a defensive standpoint, and they're very sound in what they do. They play very hard, and they don't bust. And so you're going to have to be, when you attack them, you're going to have to be very strategic in how you do that. And then on offense, they're going to be a little bit like us, but they're going to try to be very balanced, and they're going to keep you off balance with formations and sets and motions. And then special teams, they're going to be well coached. And so it's a huge challenge for us, because we're still on the foundation level of this program, building it, and hopefully we can take that next step.
Coach, we had a chance to visit with you a little bit at the WAC football preview back in July, and I know you're a former WAC Player of the Year, but you're also you returned back home when you took the job at Lamar, or closer to home, I should say. You're originally from Nacogdoches. And what is it about Texas football? I know your dad was a coach. Your brother, of course, was also a WAC Player of the Year. What is it about football in Texas that really drew you back home?
I just think the high school football in Texas, there are so many incredible high school football coaches and incredible people, incredible men that you want your sons playing for in this state. And that's what defines it. I mean, the X's and O's are phenomenal in how these coaches build their programs in the off season. There are so many guys that are very, very good at the program building part, the people building part, and then the X's and O's. And you put all that together, I think, Texas is defined by those programs and those men that really are in the business of building young men. And that's what you love about Texas high school football coaches.
Back in 1998, you were part of the WAC championship team at Air Force, and arguably the greatest team in Air Force history, only losing one game by 1 point that season. I believe you beat BYU that year. That was a ranked team. You also won the Oahu Bowl. Coach, what's it going to take? Obviously, it's a different conference now, same name, but what's it going to take to win a WAC championship again?
Yes, it's going to take full buy-in, and that starts at the top. And it's just everybody working in unison, from the university level all the way down through the athletic department into us as a football team. And on our level, we just have to get to the point where you usually win championships with experience. Those two things you generally go hand in hand. And so you can't do anything about that. And so we've just got to be, I think we've got some really good young talent, some older guys that are starting to step up and buy in to kind of who we are as a program and just embrace it on a weekly basis. But you're going to have to execute on in all three phases at a very high level to win this conference, just because the coaching and the talent is so good. And whether we're there this year, I guess we'll see. That'll play itself out. But I think we are laying a foundation for having those things in place. But it's a very methodical process. It's not going to be a snap of the fingers. It's not going to be an overnight deal. And we'll just keep taking, kind of brushing your teeth every day so you don't get a cavity, right? You just got to keep taking those very small methodical steps as a program. And the next thing you know, you're going to look up and have a chance, here to win a conference championship.
Coach, did you ever get out on the practice field and chuck it around anymore, or are those days behind you?
I do every now and then. I try to jump into a drill. I think I did it. I've done it. It's been very sparse though when I jump in. I would like to do it more, and I probably should. That's what I love. I was a coach's kid, so I lived around a gym, so I love to shoot hoops, go out and throw the ball around. Just anything. I think I was the definition of a gym rat. So,
Coach Morgan, I want to thank you for taking some time out, and good luck this week.
Thank you so much.
That is Blane Morgan, head coach at Lamar University. We'll be right back. Welcome back to WAC Football Friday. It's time to play WAC Football Would You Rather with Lamar football players Anthony Ruffin and Jeremy Davis.
Would you rather give up social media or eat the same dinner for the rest of your life?
I'm eating the same dinner. Oh my God. I be so bored in the house. I cannot do it.
Bear crawl 100 yards or run a mile. I'm a bear crawl that 100 yards so fast.
Oh my God. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one duck the size of a horse?
I whoop that duck. I think but like 100, that's too many. Like I'll get tired fast. I think I can do it for one.
Get stuck on a ski, lift, or an elevator. I think I'm gonna stay on the elevator because the ski I'm out there in the it's too open, bro. The elevator's closed.
Oh, I got you.
Would you rather swim with a shark or go skydiving?
Oh, I'm afraid of heights. Oh my God. A shark though? And I'm in the water. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass out. I'm gonna jump out the plane.
That does it for this episode of WAC Football Friday. Make sure to check out all the games on Saturday on ESPN Plus. Then check back here on our next WAC Football Friday.